something new from Hyundai, the Hyundai IONIQ 6 electrified streamliner. Another car on the EGMP platform, and really it's just a motor here, and this low-slung battery underneath. Here's what it looks like when it's not in the car. Whether two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, the battery packs are modular. They can be made any size, larger or smaller, wider or narrower. And a motor, whether at the front or back or both, can be made to fit vehicles of all sorts of different sizes, whether it's a passenger car or an SUV. They can charge inside or outside the car other objects, whether it's a computer or a barbecue. And not only that, they can take advantage of the very fastest charging, the 350 kilowatt charging, something very few models can actually do. In Australia at least, the product manager has specified all of the models to have matrix headlights, and they're the ones that bend around oncoming traffic. But that's not really the crux of this story. The crux of this story is the way this thing looks. Each line is carefully considered with this powerful, confident piece of modern aesthetics. The beautiful arch, the flush door handles, more pixels, and this delicious rear end. This is probably the best view of the car. You can't possibly mistake this as any other car. I'm so sick of reviewing automotive blancmanges and trying to make them sound interesting. This, on the other hand, this is interesting. What looks like a hatchback is in fact a suited and booted car. The platform allows for a very low front and low back, which means the boot is a little cramped, but you can lower the seats from the buttons in the back, and there's a small compartment in the front. We've got 18-inch wheels on the lower model, and the upper model has these 20-inch wheels. You'd think it'd ruin the ride, but it does not. But one of the major features of this car is BlueLink, and it allows over-the-air updating. Once you've got the app on your phone, you can monitor the car. It can receive updates as well for features and facilities. You can turn the air conditioning on it. You can passengers in the back have a lot of room and a couple of USB-Cs. There's this much space in the back, which is huge, but unfortunately, my feet can't sit under the seat in front unless the seat is raised. And so, although I can now fit my feet under the seat, the driver, who's about the same height as me, has his head inside the sunroof. The front cabin continues this spacious theme, and because the floor is flat, there's a bunch of space that would normally be taken up by the transmission tunnel. It can be used for storage of handbags and useful other items. There's customizable lighting and a Bose sound system, which both Olga and I thought to be a little bit on the flat side. All I had to do to put it into drive was give the gear lever a bit of a twist. Get over this bumpy stuff. And we're out. You can see up here the digital mirror displays on this extension of the dashboard. Now, if you're wondering what that bonging is, it is the overspeed warning because I'm doing 12 in a 10 zone. There's no way to turn that off. That goes all the time, and the only way to turn it off is to turn off the speed sign recognition. So I think if I was to buy this, I'd probably turn that off, because that would drive me bonkers, as it did with my driving partner Olga and I down on the Murray. The drives took in some particularly twisty country, and I've got to say, it handled absolutely brilliantly. Now you can hear how beautifully quiet this is. I'm literally whispering. And all I can hear is a faint little whir. And at least part of that is to let people below a certain speed know that I'm coming. Otherwise I'd mow them down. And no matter how hard I try, I can't mow them down. I thought that'd get a laugh. Mind not to tell that one again sober. As we go over the speed bump, I'm in comfort mode. You can hardly feel it. It is magnificent. Now remember, this has the smart suspension, and you can adjust it with the mode button, which is down here on the steering wheel, but you do have to scroll through. So you can't just go up and down, you've got to go in the one direction. I'm going to pop it into sport, and my little lights here on the steering wheel have done their little jingle. And I think I can turn out now. Just don't want to. And I'm going to, whoa! Now that feels much faster, and this all-wheel drive version is faster than what most of the last of the Holden V8s were. It's a fact of life that electric cars almost universally outperform their petrol rivals easily. They weigh a little bit more, but there you go. Safety-wise, this has all of the current Hyundai Group safety stuff. The driver aids, they're all there. You put your highway assistance on, and really, you could nod off and have a nap. I'm only joking, you couldn't really nod off and have a nap, but it would at least stop you from running off the road. The dashboard is one lovely curved piece of elegant architecture. Like the outside, the inside is beautiful. The center console is beautiful. And it's got this funny sort of feeling of, I don't know, it feels like recycled something or other. The carpets, so I'm told, is at least partially made of recycled fishing net. I don't know which one, they didn't tell me. The most notable feature though is the fact that the steering is so very, very light, regardless of what mode you have it in. So let me put it back in normal, and the dash changes, and now I'm in normal mode. What I will do is go into iPedal, and now I've got one pedal driving activated. So when I lift off my foot, the rear pedal comes on and the car slows down. But you don't want to do it in traffic like this because people behind you will just get pissed off. So when I take my foot off the pedal, the brake light will come on. Those little bings and bongs that you're hearing, that's the IONIQ 6 telling me that there's someone near me, and I can see it in my head-up display and here on the dashboard. I can have my navigation displayed here and in front of me, and I get instructions up here as well. And as I said, wireless Apple CarPlay is coming, so I can put my phone into the Qi charger and I can connect it to the car without me having to do a thing to it. What Hyundai has accidentally done is created the best car that they've ever made. It is handsome and it's spacious, and handling is better than IONIQ 5, which was already very good. And by the way, there's a N version coming of IONIQ 5. At the moment, the big Korean company doesn't seem to be able to put a foot wrong. The whole group, Genesis, Kia, Hyundai, have got fantastic designers that aren't afraid to be a little bit daring. You may not like this car looks-wise, but you'll notice it. One way or the other, this is unique. On a longer trip, of course, you're going to have to plan your charging, but if you use the inbuilt navigation system, it will navigate you to the places that you need to charge, and it'll precondition your battery so that when you get there you can take advantage of the very fast charging available. But what it does mean is all of that hoo-ha about long distance driving in electric cars really simply doesn't exist, and really it never did. There are one or two little annoying things about the IONIQ 6. One, the 12 volt is in a stupid position. It should be on either one side or the other of the console. The next is this, as beautiful as this Porsche 911 imitation whale tail is, and as gorgeous as the pixels and the brake light is, the top of this is clear see-through plastic. And you can't see it on film, but this is all scratched. Imagine how that's going to look in another 10 years' time. But I'm not going to be here in another 10 years' time because I'm leaving now. So hit like, leave a comment, and there to subscribe.